Now on CoastTV News.
As Stell Parker Selby remains absent, more explosive accusations in the halls of the House of Representatives.
Can you believe what she did? She's a traitor.
Dangerous heat on the coast.
We experience a lot of heat-related emergencies, heat exhaustion, and then possibility of heat stroke.
What the Ocean City Beach Patrol wants you to know as temps soar.
Planning for snow in the summer.
I think, honestly, the town should be able to help us out.
Some people in Dewey Beach think a new policy is unfair.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Fallout from the bombshell interview Coast TV conducted yesterday with this Democrat. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
After our explosive interview yesterday, things began to happen.
State Republicans stood outside Legislative Hall. They are critical of how Democrats have handled the long absence of Stell Parker Selby, who's now been absent all 38 days of the legislative session. Now, just so you're clear, those 38 legislative days, they stretch over 6 months. Also, Republican lawmakers tell Coast TV they're getting more calls from those in Parker Selby's district who say they're not getting help from her or her office. And at least one Republican says Democrats are calling one of their own a traitor.
This is Representative Madinah Wilson-Anton. She told me her party's behavior regarding the absence of Stell Parker Selby has been, quote, disgusting.
The chair of the Sussex County Republican Party came out of Legislative Hall to tell us what he heard about Representative Wilson-Anton.
So as I was walking through Legislative Hall today, I've heard multiple staffers throughout as I'm walking. One of them specifically, as I overheard, said, "Can you believe what she did? She's a traitor."
Daniel Willis is directly referring to Representative Madinah Wilson-Anton. She spoke with me in depth yesterday in her office at Legislative Hall. Wilson-Anton tells Coast TV News other Democrats are okay with Stell Parker Selby's absence for up to 2 years. Wilson-Anton says her own party is prioritizing keeping the District 20 seat Democrat because they fear they'll lose the seat if a special election is held right now.
I mean, they're not just saying it, right? Like, they're doing things to continue this, which is why I feel comfortable actually coming out and publicly doing this, because I don't want to be associated with that kind of behavior. I think it's completely unacceptable. I don't, personally, if the seat were to go Republican, the seat goes Republican, it needs to be represented by someone from the community. So, you know, I like that we have a majority down here, but that's not the reason I got elected, was to keep a majority. I got elected to represent my district and to do right by my district. And people who live in her district deserve the same.
Representative Madinah Wilson-Anton is also critical of how the Speaker of the House, Melissa Minor Brown, is handling this entire situation, and how she says Minor Brown's behavior has impacted staff members.
I've been really disappointed in how the Speaker in particular has handled this situation. One of the things that I find to be the most upsetting in this situation is how our staff have been the ones made to deal with the situation in public when it's really not their role. And it's like, if you would just deal with this situation with transparency, then everyone else can go about their jobs, right? Like, we have staff here that are so dedicated to our constituents, and they're tied up in dealing with answering questions that should have been answered weeks, if not months ago. So I'm really frustrated by that. And that's why I wanted to meet with you, because I think the more the public can understand and move forward from this, the better, not just for our staff, but for our constituents.
In this broadcast yesterday, Representative Madinah Wilson-Anton told us things about her own party that made my jaw drop. Along with Democrats being okay with Stell's prolonged absence to save their current majority, we were told some Democrats actually discussed how to cover up Parker Selby's absence by parking in her parking space to intentionally deceive media. Speaker Melissa Minor Brown told us leaders want to introduce virtual voting to accommodate Stell Parker Selby. Madinah Wilson-Anton says that's a, quote, bold-faced lie. Our repeated requests to the Speaker for a comment on these allegations have been ignored.
That's not all. Tonight, more allegations that the office of absent Representative Stell Parker-Selby isn't helping constituents. One issue specifically, a deadly intersection in Milton. This is Mulberry Street and Route 16 in Milton. This month, a woman was killed there. There's been multiple accidents before that, and neighbors have publicly pleaded for the immediate installation of a delayed traffic light. It's in District 20. Representative Brian Shoup's District 36 is across the street. This map shows the district boundary lines. Shoup says he's getting more calls from people asking for help from him since Stell Parker-Selby isn't answering the phone.
Usually when somebody reaches out in a different district, I say, hey, I would be more than happy to help you. I will put you in connection with your representative, and I'll stay in loop in the conversation if there's anything that I can do. But in this situation, I feel like I have to take the driving force behind it because there is not an officer or representative that can take that driving force.
For 3 weekdays, we have reached out to Governor Matt Meyer, the state's top Democrat, for a comment on all of this. We reached out to him because he told me this on Friday, June 6th.
If I do hear directly from members of that district, they feel unrepresented and they feel like the governor should take action. Like anything else, I will take action.
That was Friday, June 6th, and here's what the governor's team said in a statement today. Quote, as said before, this is a House issue, and we will not be commenting any further.
All of this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, should Delaware Governor Matt Meyer influence his party to act on Stell Parker-Selby's absence?
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. Well, 93% say yes, they do believe he should, and 7% say no.
That's actually up a few percentage points from earlier. Mary of Georgetown says, quote, she needs to resign and a special election to be held. If you haven't voted or if you want to leave your own comment, go to CoastTV.com or use our mobile app. We will show you updated results tonight on Coast TV News at 11.
Today again, we have requested a formal sit-down interview with House Speaker Melissa Minor Brown. We want to get the answers that people in District 20 have been asking about Stell Parker-Selby for months. We have not heard back yet. For our complete coverage on this story right now, just head to CoastTV.com.
And switching gears now, the official start of the summer is around the corner and temperatures starting to soar. That heat index could hit triple digits tomorrow, and people in our area are already starting to feel the heat. Coast TV News reporter Anna Sophia Rahman is live in Georgetown. Anna Sophia, you're at one of the places where seniors can actually go to cool down.
Charlie, I'm right now outside of the Shear Center in Georgetown, where this time of the year, seniors come here not only to enjoy the air conditioning, but also to do fun activities. Earlier today, I spoke with some seniors. Some of them said they like to come here in the morning, and then they like to spend some time outdoors in the afternoon.
I have several acres, and a little puppy dog that we run around outside. I raise some plants and do things outside.
As temperatures continue to rise, make sure you find places like this to cool down. Live in Georgetown, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
Taking cover from the sun, that's what people did along the beach today as temperatures rise in Ocean City. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay live there. And Kevin, people are just feeling the heat.
Maddie, we talked to people along the Ocean City beach who told Coast TV they had to bring extra shade and water for this hot day. Riley Smith has worked at the Dumpsters Ice Cream along the Ocean City Boardwalk for 5 years. And she says when the waves of heat come in, so do the people.
I mean, we just opened and we've already had 2 cart full of customers, so it's definitely gonna be a busy day.
Today was one of the first hot days along the coast, which means plenty of people took cover using umbrellas, cooled off in the ocean, and put on sunscreen. We talked to Sergeant Timothy Ubel from the Ocean City Beach Patrol, who tells Coast TV that drinking water is essential during these hot summer days.
We experience a lot of heat-related emergencies, heat exhaustion, and then possibility of heat stroke during days like today.
As Smith and her co-workers continue to make ice cream for the people along the boardwalk, she says that's what Ocean City is all about.
People are here for the heat. The beach is right here. They come to us for some ice cream. We're here.
With one hot day done along the coast, there's plenty more on the way. Now, if you plan on hitting the beach this summer, be sure you're ready to take on the sun. I'm Kevin Zapay, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Let's go ahead and take a live look outside in Ocean City. A far cry from what was happening just a little bit ago as we turn it over to our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams.
Yeah, we had a full plate of things happening, including severe thunderstorms, and I have some damage reports to share with you briefly. But in light of the concern for the heat index and the UV index, listen, we're looking at a level of 9 for the next 5 days in a row, and that's only 2 steps away from extreme. This is why we are making such a big deal about exposure to the sun and how it can cause problems. Now, we had a severe thunderstorm that hit earlier. Georgetown, we now have a report, trees down, time estimate for the radar at about 6:50 with Georgetown as far as what happened with some damage there. Here's a look at those scattered showers pushing across the region. And so it's over with for right now. But if you'll notice, we have all this pink in place because a severe thunderstorm watch is still in effect, technically, I'll say, until 7 o'clock. Now, when we talk about a watch and a warning, a severe thunderstorm warning means the storm is already tearing stuff up and it's there. A watch means we just simply have all of the ingredients on Grandmama's table before she makes the pie. Maddie.
Thank you, Paul, and we're just getting started this evening.
We're kicking off the official start to summer with the biggest events this Friday. DSN has a preview of the must-watch action in Delaware and Maryland.
But first, sidewalk sanctions. What new rules could be hitting Dewey Beach's concrete? When we're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Most businesses in Dewey Beach are right on the side of Coastal Highway, creating, well, a lot of traffic in town.
For businesses that have sidewalks against the busy highway, new rules could be coming on how to maintain those walkways.
Coast TV News' Brandon Ferguson live in Dewey Beach. Brandon, if passed, rules could be applied immediately.
Maddie and Charlie, these new rules would affect each and every one of these sidewalks right up against Coastal Highway in Dewey Beach. And if passed, they will first get tested out this winter.
Walking on the popular sidewalks of Dewey Beach could look and feel a little different after a Friday town council meeting. Business and property owners that have sidewalks on Coastal Highway could be responsible for removing snow themselves.
We just don't have the people or the equipment to do that.
Town manager Bill Zalper says sidewalks cannot be the town's first priority in snowstorms.
Individual homeowner or property owner or business owner should be responsible for cleaning those.
The proposed rule says if it snows less than 6 inches, you must remove it in 24 hours after it stops, or you will be fined. For more than 6 inches of snow, property owners would have 48 hours to remove it before receiving a $50 fine. Greg Gonzalez owns a pet care business in Dewey Beach and says he shouldn't have to brave the elements to clear his sidewalk.
I think, honestly, the town should be able to help us out and basically get the snow plowed.
Sunny now, but when the weather shifts and snow falls, new rules could also fall on Dewey sidewalks.
Zolper says when proposing these new rules, he took into account how other towns on the coast had sidewalk snow removal, and this vote will take place this Friday at the town hall. In Dewey Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
I want to update you on the severe thunderstorm watch. It now has been allowed to expire in our area with the last remnants of the rain that's pushing out of the way, so things should calm down before they go back to heating up for tomorrow. Well, typically you hear this in reverse, but this time around we have the calm after the storm. That's what we're experiencing right now in Lewis, 77 degrees, and will settle into the mid-70s by 9 o'clock with clearing skies. We were initially placed under a severe thunderstorm watch, and we had a couple of places where we had warnings and some damage, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. But as of right now, the severe thunderstorm watch has been allowed to expire a bit early. It was supposed to stay in effect until 7 o'clock, but right now it's gone, it's done with. Now, we had damage that began to push its way across the region. We were tracking the damage reports and all that. Different things like power outages and stuff like that over towards Denton. It's one of the places that we highlight where we have multiple trees down. That was about at 4:09. Now, we also had in Bridgeville wires down on Church Street at about 4:28 near Bridgeville and near Highway 13. Then we just received another report that at about 4:50 in Georgetown, we had trees down, and that's estimated from the radar as well. So the severe thunderstorm that pushed through had 70-mile-per-hour wind and penny-sized hail. So it did cause a concern, especially with those straight-line winds at 70 miles per hour. But now that's over with, but you can see the effect of the rain-cooled atmosphere. We're in the 70s here in Milton, Lewis, Rehoboth, but still in the 90s down here where it didn't rain. Now catch this. Look at the bottom of your screen real quick. I want to kind of show you. The dew point temperatures are in the upper 70s. That's tremendous. And we're looking for the dew point temperatures to stay elevated. But we had a heat index of 103 to the places that didn't receive any of the rain. Now, that means we're muggy, and we're going to stay that way till the rain really affects everything and everybody. So we'll drop to muggy Thursday going into Friday, but we'll start to stair-step our way right back into that category of very muggy to miserable with the elevation of the dew point temperatures. Now, we take a look at our expectations for Thursday. Thursday at about 10 o'clock, I'm going to be concerned about another round of very serious storms. I'm looking at 3 different isolated cells that are firing up with each run of the model that we have right now. And this is the model I lean towards to really dissect if we're talking about severe storms for a short-term forecast. And it's looking favorable for Thursday night being a big deal, so we're going to keep a close eye on that. But as far as the daytime is concerned for tomorrow, not seeing any stormy weather, but really, really warm. For Thursday along the coast, 86 in Rehoboth, 90 in Dewey Beach, 91 Chincoteague, 90 in Ocean City. But the heat index is going to climb to near 100. One other concern we have, because of the wide openness of the clear skies before the storms hit, we are looking at the UV index staying at a level of 9 for the next 5 days in a row. For context, 10 is the highest you go in this category, and then you go over to extreme. This is why I am making such a big deal about making sure you cover yourself and protect yourself from overexposure to the burning sun. Now, as we get ready to wrap this thing up pretty quickly, we are expecting for it to stay relatively quiet in Ocean City and Fenwick Island, but we could see some thunderstorms kick in for us in the Lewis area. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
What's going on, sports fans? We have a fun-filled Friday on the Delmarva Sports Network. And on June 20th, we are your home for the biggest events. If you're looking for some fun events to watch this summer, look no further than Berlin. We will be broadcasting the 35th annual Berlin Bathtub Races live on DSN this Friday. We'll have the pre-race parade, all of the races, including the finals, along with capturing all of the excitement from the local community. The broadcast will start at 6 p.m. with Coast Life Preview Show taking place on CoastTV beginning at 4 o'clock. And this coming Friday, it's a DSN doubleheader on the gridiron at the University of Delaware on DSN+. We'll have the annual Blue-Gold football game between the best seniors in the First State. Team Gold is trying to avenge last year's 32-2 loss to the Upstate squad. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. from Delaware Stadium in Newark. And the Baltimore Orioles made a statement on the heartbreaking news of the passing of 19-year-old Luis Guevara. In his first season in the United States, he appeared in 30 games, 24 of them being with the Delmarva Shorebirds, 4 with the FCL Orioles, and with the AA Chesapeake as well. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and friends.
Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're still going to be watching out for a yellow alert day because of the heat during the day and possible storms late at night. And don't forget, the official start of summer, believe it or not, is Friday, and that's one of the cooler days.
Thanks, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.